Welcome to Thousand Trails Paradise. This is a Thousand Trails park that is on the west side of Washington State, on the west side of the Cascades, just off of Highway 12 between Yakima and Chehalis. And we took a week, actually we took 10 days and thought we'd come over here and take a look at this park. And we're not real impressed.
Action.
It's pretty tight, not real big rig friendly. We were told that it was a 1960s KOA that was purchased by Thousand Trails, and so it's rather small, compact, tight, and you can kind of see how tight the rigs are. So we're not going to last 10 days here. It just got really crowded on Thursday and Friday night. This is now Saturday. It's very crowded, and we're going to move on Monday and go up the Columbia Gorge and do a little bit of boondocking. So we thought we'd show you a little bit of what Thousand Trails Paradise looks like. Not big rig friendly, would not suggest it. But we got in, we're gonna get out, but it's pretty cramped. So one of the other things about this park is all the big trees. They've got huge fir trees, which makes it real nice and shady. You know, when the weather was warm, the trees were nice to have, but it doesn't do real good for satellite reception. So as you can see, I've got my my satellite antenna on the edge of the truck, and I'm shooting through. See if you can see this here. I'm shooting through that gap right there to try to get satellite TV, and I got one satellite, but it gives us the local station, so that's good because there's no local TV here. We couldn't get anything from our rooftop antenna, so you just do what you got to do. So as you can see, Thousand Trails Paradise is a pretty tight fit.
Very tight. As you say, we're stacked like wood.
So the park's built on a hill, and they tried to level out the sites as best that they could, but we still had to use leveling blocks. There is no local TV service, as I said, but the Verizon and T-Mobile signals were both okay. We got about 12 megabytes down and 5 megabytes up on both of them, so it was reasonable for streaming and any data usage that you need.
Yes, it was a tight fit for us. We are large. The campfires that were around us, they are so close. They're like, what, 12 feet away from our fifth wheel. And our neighbor next to us, which I'm sure they're really nice people, but they had their campfire going 24/7, and our bedroom would be filled with smoke.
Yeah.
And that was hard to sleep in, really hard to sleep in.
Yeah, and if your neighbors next to you stay up late at night, they're right outside your wall.
Right, and we had a couple that were just out there talking quietly in the dark, and you could hear them out, you know, while we were trying to sleep, and so that was kind of tough.
They have all the Thousand Trails amenities. They had a pool, they had a hot tub, they had volleyball, they had basketball court, they had tennis courts. Yeah, a little store. Hiking trails were actually really nice to take evening walks on.
Yeah, it really was. And it was, I mean, it was really a pretty park because of all the trees and everything, but man, you're just right on top of each other.
They did have a dog park for those of you that have dogs. They did have a dog park, but it was quite a jaunt.
We didn't even know it was there until we went on our walk one night, and I mean, it was a nice big one, but most dogs around us just did it right around the green belts of our area, so.
And they had a little lake for fishing. We saw quite a few people fishing in the little lake. You know, the atmosphere is really, really nice. Just the park itself was very, very tight and not very big rig friendly at all. But
right. Our neighbors across the way were backing into their site, and they have big tree stumps everywhere, and they end up taking out part of their front part of their motorhome. Yeah,
they scraped their bumper on one of the big tree stumps that was out there and broke off some of the fender on the motorhome. But you know, it is a pretty tight park. You're about 30 minutes from Chehalis, about 35 minutes from Centralia. Both of those are the towns that you're going to need to go into for groceries and shop. So all in all, it's a nice park. The atmosphere is nice. The trees were very nice. But if you're looking for something for a big rig, we can't recommend this park at all.
No, and we won't go back.